Hi everyone! Welcome back to my channel. Here today we have an extraordinary animal and it is a very beautiful gazelle. This beautiful creature has been captured in this incredible photo that really shows off its beauty. We are going to try to figure out which species of gazelle is in this picture and what makes it so special. Let's get started. Okay, so at first glance, there are a few things that stand out about this gazelle. The most obvious thing is its color. It is a reddish-brown color and gazelles typically aren't this color. In fact, most gazelles are either a sandy color or a whitish color. And of course, there are exceptions to every rule. But this one is definitely not your typical white or tan gazelle. This leads me to believe that this may be a rare individual, but I'll save that for later. The second thing that stands out to me is its fur. This gazelle has longer fur than most gazelles and they can be seen more towards the tips of its legs, around its neck and down its backside. This is another clue as to what species of gazelle this could be. The third thing that I want to point out is this gazelle's horns. These horns are relatively small, but they do curve backwards slightly. And I think these horns are a good indicator as to what species this gazelle is. Lastly, I want to say that this gazelle looks absolutely stunning. Its fur is perfectly healthy and shiny, and it looks like it just came straight out of a National Geographic magazine. There is no doubt that gazelles are beautiful animals, but this one takes the cake. With all these clues in mind, let's move on to the next round and see if we can narrow down the possibilities. In the last round, we talked about how this gazelle has longer fur than most other gazelles, and this is especially noticeable in this picture. A lot of the species of gazelles have very short fur, while others have medium-length fur. But in my opinion, this gazelle has long fur. If you look closely, you can actually see some of its fur lying flat, while others stick up more. And it looks like it is trying to fluff up its fur to look bigger. Gazelles use their fur to stay warm at night and during the winter months, since they don't have a thick layer of fat to keep them warm. However, the summer heat can also be dangerous for gazelles, and they will sometimes lay on the ground with their fur caked in dirt to help them stay cool during the day. So although many gazelles have short or medium-length fur, this one is definitely on the higher end when it comes to fur length. Another thing that we can observe from this picture is the shape of this gazelle's horns. As you can see here, its horns are relatively small, but they do curl backwards slightly. When looking at all the different species of gazelles and their horns, you can start to notice trends. Some gazelles, such as the Thompson's gazelle, have horns that curve forwards and look like scimitars. Others, such as the lesser kudu, have large, long horns that curve slightly backwards. Finally, some gazelles, such as the great oryx, do not have horns at all. So when it comes to the shape of its horns, this gazelle doesn't really match any of the species of gazelles, except maybe the Dorcas gazelle. The Dorcas gazelle has pretty small horns that curve slightly backwards, similar to this gazelle. This brings us to our next clue, its size. As you probably know by now, gazelles come in a variety of sizes. They range anywhere from 2 feet to almost 5 feet tall at the shoulder. Since this gazelle is standing next to a human, it is relatively small. And based off of its leg structure and overall body shape, I would estimate it to be around 3 feet tall at the shoulder. This rules out some of the larger species of gazelles, such as the gemsbok, which can grow to almost 5 feet tall at the shoulder. The final clue that we need to look at is the shape of its face. Gazelles have a variety of different face shapes. Some have longer faces, while others have shorter faces. Some have really big, wide-set eyes, while others have medium-sized eyes. Lastly, some gazelles have narrow faces, while others have wider faces. Most of the gazelles with longer faces tend to have wider faces as well, but that is not always the case. For example, the royal oryx has a long face, but it isn't very wide. When looking at this gazelle's face, I would say that it has a relatively short face with medium-sized eyes and a relatively narrow face. This helps to rule out some of the other species of gazelles, since not all of them have short faces. Now that we've looked at all the different clues that this photo gives us, let's try to narrow it down to a single species of gazelle. So just to recap, this gazelle is reddish-brown in color instead of sandy or white. It has longer than average fur. Its horns are relatively small and curve slightly backwards. And lastly, it is of medium size with a short, narrow face. The only species of gazelle that I know of that fits all these descriptions is the Dorcas gazelle. Dorcas gazelles have rusty-colored fur, medium-length fur, relatively small horns that curve slightly backwards, and they are usually around 3 feet tall at the shoulder. They also have short, narrow faces, which is a pretty unique trait among gazelles. Although they are relatively small, they are still very fast and can reach speeds of up to 45 miles per hour. Dorcas gazelles are found in North Africa, the Middle East and Central Asia. They inhabit a variety of habitats, including deserts, grasslands and open woodlands. They are typically found in areas with sparse vegetation and rocky terrain. Dorcas gazelles are herbivores and they typically feed on grasses, herbs and shrubs. They are also known to be very agile and can jump over obstacles that are up to 5 feet tall. Dorcas gazelles are typically social animals and they live in groups of up to 20 individuals. They are crepuscular, meaning they are most active at dawn and dusk. They spend the day hiding in the shade and the night sleeping with their herdmates. Dorcas gazelles are polygamous and males will compete for the right to mate with a female. Males are also known to be very aggressive and territorial during mating season. Dorcas gazelles are preyed on by a variety of predators, including cheetahs, leopards, hyenas and wolves. They are also hunted by humans for their meat and hides. Overall, the Dorcas gazelle is a very interesting and unique animal. I hope you enjoyed learning about it as much as I did. Now it's time to move on to the bonus round. In the bonus round, we are going to talk about what makes this gazelle so special. In the previous round, we identified this gazelle as a Dorcas gazelle. However, this particular Dorcas gazelle is extra special. You might have noticed that this gazelle has no ears. That's because this gazelle was born without ears. This is a rare genetic mutation that only occurs in a small number of animals. I'm not sure if this gazelle was born in the wild or if it is domesticated. But either way, it is a very special animal. It is unknown how this gazelle manages to survive without ears, but it seems to be doing well. It is able to hear sounds through its vibrations in the ground and it is able to communicate with other gazelles by stomping its feet and making other noises. Overall, this gazelle is an amazing creature and it is a reminder that anything is possible. Thank you for watching this episode. If you enjoyed it, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. I appreciate all your support. I hope you learned something new about gazelles, and I hope you enjoyed seeing this beautiful creature. I know I did. That's all for now. I will see you next time. Stay tuned for more amazing animal stories coming your way. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share for more amazing animal facts and adventures.